All right, cocksuckers, welcome back to what is it? Practicing fundamentals, art fundamentals, via the artwod roadmap, ARTWOD, link description. I'm not affiliated, but one day I hope they fucking give me that money, that good money that I deserve, which is unfortunate because yeah, I have gotten completely unnoticed by them, those pieces of shit. But please give me money, artwod, one day, affiliation program. I don't know. This intro just turns into me begging, and I'm supposed to save that for the end. But yeah, like, subscribe, or fuck off. I don't care which. Preferably all three. Keep me on the background. Give me retention and your attention. I honestly don't know how I'm going to fit all of my little micro beggings into my intro, as well as my intro, which is hello, welcome. I'm Viggy. I'm aspiring to become one of the greatest artists of all time, akin to Kim Jong-il or along those lines, right? In my opinion, one of the greatest artists of all time, right? With line, form, perspective, imagination, all that shit. But yeah, and I'm doing this by practicing only the fundamentals. If you look at my art, my YouTube channel history right now, I have over 160 videos, most likely, which is 160 hours of practice. And that's, and I started 2 years in, right? I started this channel 2 years of practice in. So I've already hit around probably close to almost 1,000 hours now, right? No, a bit less than 1,000 hours. But yeah, anyways, blah 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 for blah 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 perspective. We're doing 1 point perspective practice right now, right? It's the artwod grind node, right? What the fuck? I have a book open. That's not what I meant to do. Yeah, draw each plane. Draw the fuck. What is this? Draw something and well, it went away. But either way, grab your pen or pencil, preferably pen, as it builds confidence, and draw along with me, right? Let's practice with intent. Don't just fucking twiddle your dick around. Let's actually practice something that's gonna make you objectively better, right? Let's use our brain. Let's think very hard. Yeah, draw 20 boxes in a 1 point perspective, all sharing the same vanishing point. Obviously, I'm doing it. I'm making it more complicated, which is adding subtractions and additions, either diagonal ones or elliptical ones, to these shapes. But yeah, anyways, holy shit, how long of an intro was that? 2 minutes? Yeah, everybody's gone now. Wonderful. Let's, to those of you who are actual fans and like to draw along in the background, let people know about my channel. Say, wow, this guy's actually really good, all that shit. So I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what the fuck to do with this intro. This is getting worse and worse by the day, but okay. Let me think. I need to obviously have more intent with what I practice. And obviously 1 point perspective is difficult. So we need to make sure that we stick to the script that I've established in my mind, of course. Right now I'm just trying to find the medium line, right? The medium line? What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. That probably confused everybody, including myself. The middle line. I'm trying to visualize this. Okay, that was a bit off, and the line was very poor, which happens. Okay, yeah, so this is off center. My lines are very shaky, which is good, because that means there's only, you can only get better, right? If your lines are shit, if everything is shit, to be honest, if you are shit, I guess I should put it as that. If you are bad, I'm your dad. I think that's a reference from a Tamil movie. No, if you are bad, that's opportunity to get better. What the fuck am I saying? God, okay. Okay, I want to add an elliptical subtraction here. This is the difficult part, right? Because we have to follow this, visualize that. But now the grid line changes. See? It's more angled diagonally. But that doesn't mean that the ellipse isn't affected. The ellipse is affected. Now, I probably did that incorrectly. In fact, this should have been angled a bit wider at the bottom. I'm also trying to add a lot more tiny little things to these drawings, right? Something, or like I'm gonna attempt to add a lot more tiny little things. See? Because obviously that's gonna get in the way of this. If we go all the way down. Obviously I'm trying to visualize all of this as well. So, and now if this is something that's being cut out, we have to also think about this, right? something like that. Because obviously it is also going towards the vanishing point. I say all this shit as if it's obvious, but I'm sure that for those of you watching, or maybe even practicing along, I'm sure it's not that obvious, right? This is a skill that we're building, the ability to see these grid lines, to visualize, and to make it intuitive, right? This probably is off. Let's see. Yep, off by a couple millimeters. And even that little assessment I did is probably not extremely accurate either, but this is how we learn, right? And this one, obviously, no, I'm gonna stop saying obviously. This one also has a bit of a it has to be straight here, right? But it's going towards this line, which I need to indicate, right? And this is where I have to think about, okay, this is the front, this is the bottom. Now we have, so it's also going converging, this little elliptical cutout I'm imagining. Something like that. There you go. I do have to think, because this one might be a bit more subtle, and maybe it's not even that accurate, right? Because this is 1-point perspective. We're seeing a flat plane in front of us. Maybe I already fucked it up because this horizontal line here isn't completely parallel with the horizon line, right? I'm just trying to think ahead. It's very difficult. This is all, don't get me wrong, this is all extremely difficult, right? We have to acknowledge the difficulty that comes with something as mentally taxing as calculating perspective, right? But hey, if I'm doing it right now, you sure as shit can do it, because I'm fucking average as shit when it comes to learning and art, right? The only advantage is that I've learned how to learn, and I've learned to believe in the learning process and have a positive mindset around it. That is my quote unquote competitive advantage, right? Unfair advantage, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But that doesn't mean, because my voice is all nasally, that doesn't mean that you cannot do it, because you can do it. Or if I can do it, you can do it. If Kim Jong-il can do it, I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. We have to think that way, right? Just if blank can do it, I can do it. That should always be the mentality. And blank is whoever you look up to, right? As an artist, as a performer, whatever, right? If they can do something, you can do it. Get rid of all the bullshit notions of talent. Get rid of all of that, okay? It doesn't matter if that exists. What matters is that it has been done. Therefore, it's not impossible. Therefore, you simply have to figure out how the common denominators of how it has been done, and then how you can practice that consistently over decades. Not weeks, not months, decades. Of course, weeks and months will show very constant progress, but it's the decades that will make all the difference. And no, we're not going to compare ourselves to child prodigies. It doesn't matter if they exist or not. What matters is that they can do something, and we can strive to do that exact same thing. Of course, in our own way, with our own unique little footprint. Right? So, anyways, see, it's so hard to fucking think and talk at the same time. I do believe this line should be indicated that way. But now the question is, where is this going? Oh, so it should be something like this. Is that accurate? I don't know. I do not know. No, I should have been more like that. Yeah. Well. Okay. And then what am I doing on the other side? Oh, I guess I'm just gonna... Okay, this goes down all the way. Like, you see, my ability to see has gotten a bit better, but I'm also thinking a bit more clearly in the sense that I'm taking my time, right? Because now we need a cutout of relatively equal length. This one actually juts out a bit more because we want it to be even with this, right? So this comes out. Something like that. And yeah, my hand's super shaky, right? This pen is very difficult to use. All that stuff adds to it. Edge to it, edge to it. And again, I'm literally trying to see this grid line. right? Whee! It's very difficult, trust me. You should, if you can't do just boxes in perspective, you shouldn't be attempting this. It's a very gradual process, very gradual, right? To go from just doing boxes to doing this type of retarded, random, probably a bit more intense looking cutouts is months, right? At least 3 to 4 months. If I think about my progress, at least 4 to 6 months, if anything, right? It all takes time. Now, I also want to think about evenness, right? So if this and this, it's converging a little bit. So maybe I think this side should be a bit longer than this side. And I want to have it meet in the middle, right? So that would be something like this. And that this is a diagonal. This is not the same thing as this line converging. It's a diagonal. So this is what's obviously keeping it even and converged. Okay, that actually doesn't look too bad. Now again, we have this, and we have to think about, okay, well, we have this line converging, so we have to think, how is this? Something like that? Does it make sense? It does make sense. We see more of this side. Okay, see, this shape is already more interesting than any other shape I ever fucking drew, because I took my time, which is very important. Right? Very, very important. And to make this, again, a bit more, there you go. See, now we can see it's an actual cutout, which is important. And I want to maybe add another tiny cylinder here. So again, it's a skewed cylinder, right? Because this side is angling much more towards the vanishing point than, let's say, this side. Obviously, we want it to be a relatively perfect, quote unquote, ellipse. So I have to think about that. So it's something like that. Now, I couldn't, not only did I stop and forget to account for the fact that this is supposed to be a cylinder, not just an ellipse, I don't have space for that anymore, so that's what it is. And we're gonna have to leave it as that, right? But I'm going to rest my brain now, and I highly encourage you to do the same. And then we're gonna keep going. But the main thing I'm trying to do right now with this is to always have at least one diagonal cutout and one elliptical cutout, addition or subtraction. And obviously now we're trying to focus on having what's it called, more than one plane be affected. Like right here we have this plane has a contour manipulation and this plane has a contour manipulation, and technically the side ones do too because of the bottom one, right? Funny enough, I struggled horribly with that yesterday, as you can see. Like this was really did not think ahead. These were some of the beginning ones, right? But I struggled here as well. But just from intently focusing on that, I rested my brain. My brain learned, right? It learned slightly, but that slight learning has made a pretty big difference. So yeah. Anyways, let's rest our brain. Can't fucking speak. let's rest our brain. Yeah, I love learning this shit. And even you see how something even as simple as 20 boxes in 1 point perspective can suddenly become 20 extremely contour manipulated boxes in 1 point perspective, right? And I feel as if this is what artwod should do. Their grind nodes should have different levels, which is their normal one and then cutouts and stuff. I hope they take inspiration from my shit. Maybe if I can even have this as a suggestion, right? Because Antonio did mention his original exercises that he had for artwod even before when I joined, because I joined back in 2023, right? But I think back in 2021 or 2022 is when he started artwod. But he did mention that those were even more difficult. And I wish he gave those out, because I fucking love when things are difficult. All right, that's what gives me as a wise Kira Yoshikage once said, it gave me a boner. But Let's see. Dude, I love part 4 JoJo. Part 4 JoJo is the best JoJo. Seriously though, it's so good. Actually, no. In my opinion, I like part 5 the best, but I don't even know. There's a JoJo for everybody, right? No, there's nothing. Yeah, see, I struggle with this angle a lot. Not only in terms of visualizing the grid line, but you see it's already wrong. But from making the mark as well, because this angle going like this is very difficult for my fingers and my thumb. Right? So okay, I need to something like that. And this is 1 point perspective, so I obviously need to think a bit clearer regarding this. Very difficult. See, completely undershot it. Yeah, because look, where is this heading? Right there. Where should it be heading? It should be like this, right? It should be much more drastic at that point. So why don't we try that again then? I do have the liberty to see something like see how difficult that is. Because look, this line is being affected. It's not perfectly horizontal anymore. Yeah, super hard. And this is also not perfectly horizontal. Because when the angles get skewed to such an extent, it becomes more difficult to maintain adjacent lines, clean adjacent lines, right? So this would be something like that. But this is still a bit better overall. You know, we're still moving in a direction that's working towards that, I guess. But I do also want to have some diagonals, right? If we... Okay, that's a bit better. But yeah, guys, the best part about learning art is the fact that you're using your brain a lot, right? In my opinion, and honestly, this is just the correct opinion. Go fuck yourself. Like, you have to be using your fucking brain in terms of practicing art. People think art is a very passive skill, even beginners. And the thing is, I may bitch about beginners, but the thing is, really, what I'm doing, I'm just bitching about my past self, right? Which happens to be very common things beginners did. You know, I'm not complaining per se about any specific individual apart from who I was, right? When I'm speaking abrasively, I'm speaking abrasively to my old self, you know. And if it resonates with you, that's because you happen to be like my old self, or even now or prior, right? But most of my rants are directed towards things I'm passionate about, and I'm passionate about making sure people can have the right mindset around art. There's huge mistakes here. This is too long. This should have been longer. Again, if I was thinking about symmetry, it shouldn't have been a problem, but I wasn't. So that's the problem, right? So we can even do something like, and it's very difficult to maintain. And I want to have a diagonal jut out, right? That's what I wanted. So the lines need to be nice and thin. There you go. See, that looks pretty interesting. Not perfect, but again, I'm just practicing cutouts well, because again, this would be the box that I'm putting it in, right? So if we're putting it towards the middle of that, then roughly this could have been a bit better. I actually did this intuitively, so that's a mistake on my end. I honestly, for me personally, if I'm doing something intuitively, I'm doing it incorrectly. That's the way I look at it, because I don't like intuition. I think I've said this before. Yeah, I said this yesterday. I don't like intuition. You know, intuition's very helpful in terms of when you're sort of quote unquote in a flow state, but it's not helpful when personally when I'm trying to actually think about all these difficult things, right? But yeah, when I'm bitching about beginners, I'm bitching about my past self, and also about beginners that I see online. Right? I get really, really, really frustrated when I see stupid shit like, do I really have to practice the fundamentals? That's like saying, do I really have to use my hand to hold a pencil in order to learn how to write? Oh no, no, please, just shove it up your ass and then use it that way. Use your asshole as your writing mechanism. That's fine. That'll be equally as appropriate. You fucking retard. But yeah, I get really frustrated when people doubt the fundamentals. Again, it's my whole thing that I keep saying is a beginner does not have the right to question the fundamentals, to question the validity of the fundamentals, the importance of the fundamentals, right? You're not born in the fucking 1500s where people are still trying to figure out art, right? You're born in the 21st century where art has been, for all intents and purposes, representational art has been quote unquote solved. Right? So shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up and do the work, right? You have literally two options. Either say, you know what, I just want to keep complaining and not put the work in, or be like, this makes complete sense to me. I'm gonna have to put the work in. It's super simple. And then the second step is, how can I enjoy putting the work in? Which is where I come in, where I just tell you, oh, you know, fucking derive pleasure from the actual effort that you put in, right? Look forward to mistakes. Mistakes are the most important part. All that stuff. Really think very hard. All that stuff. I'm not saying I'm the fucking goddamn like the best person to think about all this stuff, but I am the only person to think about all this stuff, so you're welcome. Okay. Okay. No, I want to make it a bit stand out a bit less. Something like that. Right? Oh, that means this would actually, we'd see this just slightly. There you go. Cool. But yeah, no, I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say. But yeah, I get passionate about the whole beginner drawer, beginner artist thing because I was one. And I feel as if I've cracked the code, quote unquote, for just efficient proficiency, right? You know, efficiently progressing and getting better at representational art. And it's not as if I've cracked the code, but I've just listened to the fucking people. I've literally just listened to them instead of bitching or complaining. I've just listened, right? I gave up twice because even though I did listen, I didn't want to put the work in. Now I want to put the work in. So it's not even about I don't want to listen. Before it was I didn't want to put the work in. Now I clearly at November 1st, 2022, I'm like, I'm going to fucking do it. And I'm doing it, right? And I'm always trying to make it very difficult. So guys, come on, just stop doubting the fundamentals. You know, even people on Reddit piss me off because I see their art and they're not even that good. And they have the audacity to talk about how, oh, just draw what you want. Yes, draw what you want. But you can train yourself to make this what you want to draw, right? When you understand the value of understanding form, as one of my thumbnails once said, understanding form is easy to not understand. Do you understand? I love those thumbnails. That shit gives my girlfriend a headache. I love it. And it pisses some people off, i.e. just her. So again, I love it. But let's see. Okay, oh, undershot it again. Oh wait, did I? I think I did slightly better this time. Okay, not that bad. Let's try again. Oh no, never mind, it was pretty good, See, so I'm aligning my visualization, right? I'm rebuilding and recalibrating, whatever the fuck you want to call it, my ability to understand, right? What is appropriate for this grid. And that's why I will ghost, because right now this is difficult, so I'll ghost. But then after I'm done ghosting, whether it's correct or not, I will put the line down, right? This has to be perfectly vertical. And let's see, I want a square right here. But I don't just want any square. I want a square that goes in the middle. And this. Let's make it up here. This. See, that's why this tiny ass line has to be a bit accurate. Oh, I had it right the first time. There you go. Okay, and then see, this is why diagonals are so important, because it's literally forcing me to see the grid. But yeah, I'm passionate about beginner artists because I was one, and I still see so many people. That's the reason I even made this channel, is because nobody talks about the fundamentals like this, apart from artwod and broken draw, right? And those guys are actual business. Well, artwod is an actual business, right? Antonio was someone who obviously put the work in. Same with Tier and Holtit, i.e. broken draw, right? But the thing is, these guys are much more proficient than I am, so sometimes their words can be lost, right? Their words can be lost on the average individual, you know. But as the average individual who's proving to you right now that you can get good, I'd like to believe my words have a bit more merit, right? Not that theirs don't have merit, but maybe a bit more relatability, right? Maybe, considering I'm a fucking dickhead and I'm like, you can do it, you fucking piece of shit. Maybe that's not helping the cause. But I don't care about helping the cause. I just care about putting the truth out there, which is you can be good at art. You know, it's like the whole My Hero Academia. Like, you can be a hero. Kimi wa hero ni nanaru, or whatever the fuck he says. Right? You can be a hero, and then Deku starts jizzing and shit. He's like, oh my god, oh, like that type of shit. I want you to be the jizzer in this context. But yeah, you could 100% be an incredible artist, right? Maybe right now my words still don't mean that much, because it's like, okay, he's better than me, but he's not that good. Should I really listen to him? Well, you can choose not to completely listen to me at all, and then 5 years from now, when I'm even more incredible, you can be like, wow, maybe there was merit to his words. Incredible Naruhodo, right? That's your choice. It's probably most definitely the incorrect choice, but it's your choice nonetheless. So listen to me now and reap the rewards of not being a fucking waste man. Or a waste woman, of course. Women can be complete pieces of shit as well, right? We can't discriminate. Let's see, okay. This is getting a bit better. And now I want to add an elliptical cutout. So I want to do it this way. So we'll have, okay, this is obviously a bit more skewed. And this one. And I did that wrong, but that's okay. These things happen, right? It's supposed to happen, actually. If I didn't do it wrong, great. But now that I did do it wrong, and I kind of relatively understand where I went wrong, right? Which is this curve is too much. Should have been a bit more subtle, I believe, right? Because I'm still building my eye. Should be fine. Now, again, drawing an adjacent line is actually kind of difficult. So I have to keep that in mind as well. There's always a million things to keep in mind, which is the beautiful part about drawing, to be honest. Again, if it were easy, everybody would be doing it. Therefore, it wouldn't be valuable. It's like the whole quote from Incredibles all over again, right? When everyone's super, no one will be. So it's the same thing. When everyone is a proficient artist, art has no value, right? Not because part of the allure of art is the fact that quote unquote people think it's a gated skill, right? They think it's subject to only the chosen few, but it's not. It's the chosen few are those who just stuck with it, put more time into it, cared about it, right? That's the quote-unquote chosen few. Oh, that was a horrible line. See, but I don't feel bad about the fact that it was a horrible line. I feel glad about the fact that it was a horrible line. Bars. Okay. Oh, yeah. Maybe if this is just coming down all the way here, then... Okay, so we don't really see something from this end, except here, I guess. Right? So this is going there. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And then this one we will bring... Okay, so see, I have to calculate now. It's inaccurate. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be much more skewed. And I fucking did that without thinking about this. Mistakes were made. Right? Yeah, they were made. Okay, and then... Yeah, see? Oh, see, you didn't connect that properly. And then... It's skewed. Then we go down. It's skewed. Then we go down. Then we go up. So it's something like... That's not supposed to be a curved line by any means, but... See, the thing is, I don't know if I did that correctly. I don't believe I did. This is way too much, and this is not curved enough here. See, part of this is because I struggle with the lines themselves as well, right? It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm still trying to think about the grid as much as I can. I'm gonna rest my brain. It's already been 30 minutes, as always. Fucking never know when half an hour passes. But yeah, rest your brain with me. Rest? Oh god, I'm dying. Rest your brain. So yeah, it's clear what I'm really struggling with are elliptical cutouts in these skewed perspectives. Skewed perspectives, yeah. So I'm probably gonna be spending a lot of time on this, just taking that in, because it's much more difficult. I've only done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I need to do technically 9 more boxes, but I guess I've already hit the quota in terms of how difficult it is. But okay, we need to practice more. 1, 2. Fuck me. I keep making marks by accident. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll do one here, and I guess we'll add one here because this is kind of empty, right? So obviously, I need to. Okay, I need to visualize, and this is gonna be difficult because I literally am blocking the horizon, the vanishing point with my hand, right? So I actually kind of have to go through context clues. I want to avoid ghosting as much as possible, but it might be difficult in this case because obviously this angle is difficult. I even here, right? I nowhere near. This is way too. This is not wide enough. You know, I had the same problem with the planes, so we have to try to fix it here a little bit, right? So there you go. It's something like this. Fuck. And that line was ass. But I actually think this was a bit better. Nope, could have been a lot better because it's way more. What the fuck am I even saying? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, it's a bit more straight, I guess. Is this okay though? It's all right, but I need to practice the elliptical cutouts, right? Additions and subtractions. So if I have looks like this. It's very difficult because I have to imagine the ellipse inside the skewed plane, which I haven't had to do, which I haven't had the opportunity or the necessity to do, right? So obviously it's very difficult. Very difficult because my voice was all murmured and shit. Cool. And we'll do it again. Fuck it. This way we can actually focus on scale as well, right? So which is... Now this is very difficult to think about. That was really bad. That was really bad. which is great, which is amazing. That means I have a lot more opportunity to practice this moving forward, right? And I guess we'll just do something like this, right? And we'll have some horizontals coming in. Sorry, not horizontals, diagonals. Now this, I'm pretty sure if I'm visualizing it correctly, should be something like that, right? Oh, nope, I undershot it. Wait, no, did I? A little bit. Okay, that's fine. And then we want to have a box right around there. Let's have it, okay, if it's like this, yeah. So this will be and this one will bring up here like so. I believe that's accurate. It's decently accurate. And then we will because that should be something like that, right? So again, I'm trying to visualize this grid line. Now it's actually one other thing that one wouldn't expect, but actually gets in the way of visualizing this grid line is the other lines, all these other lines that are also slightly inaccurate, right? So not only do I have to ignore the inaccuracies of the adjacent lines, but I still have to visualize the correct one, which in this case is something like this. I believe it's something like this, but this could also be inaccurate. Okay, undershot it a little bit, maybe? No, it's actually pretty accurate. Cool, so... And then maybe I can do another ellipse coming in this way. So again, 1 point perspective, then it's converging like this, and then it's up here. This may also have inaccuracies for sure. But what I'm understanding is on the wider side, the part with the greater angle, it's a wider degree, and then it's a bit smaller here, right? These are all the little things people don't think about, right? How can we, in terms of making perspective a bit more difficult for themselves, for themselves. Yeah, this is okay. I could have definitely added a bit more diagonals, and I think I will. I think I know exactly how I can add more diagonals as well. But you see this right here? This is going to make it very difficult, which I'm very glad for. Because now I have to be very, very, very particular with my lines, right? Because look how thin that is now. While still, of course, visualizing everything. So let's do it. The fuck? A goofy movie, whatever. I love referencing that though. Okay, because this is the box decided to establish right around here, right? So something like that. And same here. Perfectly horizontal, hopefully. And then something like that. Right? That's okay, I'd like to believe. It's not too bad, I'd like to believe. And again, gotta make sure it's perfectly horizontal. This one is obviously a bit larger for trying to think about scale again, right? I think I maybe missed. That's okay. I mean, I'm getting a decent idea of scale right now. Obviously, the penultimate thing for this exercise over the years would be cool to draw spaceship-like stuff, right? Because that's kind of what it reminds me of. Everybody who's looked at it been like, oh, it looks like a kind of I'm going through space or something's going really fast. I don't know, I'm going like this, like fucking thrusting my hands in the air and shit. I don't have problems. You have problems. No, wait. That is not perfectly horizontal. Neither is this. This one has to be as well, and so does this one. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Let's see. I love how like you can even see me skew it to meet my my incorrect perspective assumptions. There you go. Maybe that's a bit better, right? And then we have again visualizing, because this one comes out. What did I do here? Something like that. Something like that, I guess. It's not perfect, but it's like it's good enough. And I say it's not perfect all the time because I'm not perfect. But what are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing? What time? Oh my god, it's already 41 minutes. How the fuck did it take 10 minutes to do this? Or did I do something before that? No, I think this took 10 minutes. Okay, now we have to put a box and make it even here as well. Let's do something like... Okay, if it's going like that. Again, this is all just to reinforce the grid in my mind, right? Maybe something like this. Right, I don't know how accurate that's gonna be. I did not mean to cross that over, but I guess now I have no choice but to do that. Okay, let's do it again. Just a box. This is a good plane practice as well, obviously. But okay, so something like right. These have to be aligned. That's not bad. Didn't even mean to do it like that, but I guess I'm just better than I expected, and better than you, that's for sure. There you go. Wait, all my bitching about beginners aside, it only happens because I believe in you. I believe in you, man. I believe in you. Okay. I'm gonna rest my brain again, and then with what 18 minutes on the table, we will fill something out here, and I mean I might just go longer, just because I do want to finish. I like having 2 hours per grind note or whatever the fuck. So I do want to finish this today with my fucking wavy ass hand motions. Hey guys, I'm an artist, art entertainer, right? So yeah, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Anyways, goodbye for now. All right, cool. I'm going to do something here because this was where there's a bit of a struggle, right? So let's do something there. But I will do this again. I'm not done with this one. I want to exhaust it, right? So I'm definitely going to exhaust it if I do it again for another 2 hours on the back of this paper, because that's what's going to help me learn. So, and by then I'll probably be fatigued of thinking so hard about. I don't know why I keep saying thinking so difficult, thinking so hard about this shit. So that should be good as well. Okay. So here I want to do something. I want to fill in an ellipse. I want to fill in a couple ellipses. So it should be... Now see, this one kind of throws everything off, right? Because I changed the angles a bunch of times. And that's okay, of course, but... So if I want an ellipse, be something like... That's probably very wrong, but that's the point, is that I want it to be incorrect. Yeah, I want it to be incorrect. And we'll do maybe a smaller one. No, we'll do... I'm trying to think about this in a way that makes sense. Yeah, we'll do one here. Maybe that works, right? And we'll do one here. Now these are all extremely incorrect, and that's the best part. That's literally the best part, because it's wrong, I can focus on recognizing that it's wrong and make it right. Genius. Genius words by Vicky. Let's see, something like that. And yeah, something like this, right? So obviously, because of the skewed perspective, it'll look like there's a lot more going on in terms of spacing on this side. Although I actually fucked up the spacing, but it's okay. That will happen every so often. Right. Just trying to figure something out here. So I tried doing a diagonal. I don't know if it worked. I don't think it did, especially because it's off center, right? But that's okay. Again, I'm just practicing, trying to see this. This is very difficult on the mind because I have to think about a box that's very skewed. This is gonna be a really retarded shape for sure. There's no symmetry in this one. I tried to fit it all in and hoped that I could make it symmetrical, but I think that may be difficult with how little space actually I have, right? So something like that, right? And maybe maybe I could just do something like this. We're just gonna slowly keep adding diagonal cutouts. Oh fuck, see, I fucked that line up. Very normal, very normal to happen. Very normal to happen, what the fuck? Very normal data happens. I cannot speak. But yeah, I guess despite all my rambling, what I really want, the end goal of what I'm trying to say is any of you can become an excellent artist. You need to simply remove your limiting beliefs. I don't care what bullshit excuses you have in your mind as to why you can't do the thing that you believe you want to do, right? Yeah, think about it this way. I'm rooting for you, right? And you're rooting against yourself, and you're getting angry and coming up with lots of reasons. By the way, this is a complete false narrative that I've come up with, and it's probably not true. Anybody listening or watching is like, what the fuck is he talking about? I haven't had any semblance of anger towards this man whatsoever, right? But for the narrative, I'm telling you can do it, and you're bitching and complaining to me that you can't do it. Think about that. Think about that. Yeah, these lines are obviously, they need a lot of work. Yeah, it's all for the narrative. But again, it's nice to have a narrative, right? Because it's possible some people actually will relate to it. And for me, it's less about people relating to it and more about people finally sort of being able to understand where I'm coming from, right? I haven't cracked the code to learning, but I've really learned a lot about how to learn, and I want to imbue, what a beautiful word, imbue that upon the masses. Right? None of this is really new information, at least not in recent years. But maybe people don't know about it, right? Spacing effect, neuroplasticity, growth mindset, all that shit, right? There may be things about that that are not familiar, especially among artists. Like you'll see Mark Brunette does that too, where he talks about this shit. And for him, he talks about it in a way that's like, bro, like this is insane. And it is insane. It genuinely is insane that we can learn like this. Like it's better for us to learn like this. We before we didn't know that shit, bro. We would not know that shit. Oh, see how horrible that line was? Because again, I struggle with this curve, right? But that's why I have to really think to my best. And that was also really bad. But this is how we learn, right? This is how we learn, this is how we practice. Lines in general have a lot of issues when it comes to drawing like this, or this horizontally, or in this specific diagonal motion. But you know what? I'm not gonna push it. If this takes another hour, so be it. That's fine by me. So be it. So be it. Nah. But it's been 52 minutes. Yeah, I would love to finish this in one session. TBH fam. TBH fam. Maybe I can just cheat the system and do something like this. Right? Something like this. This will help me think about spacing as well. Yeah, see, I got it. When it's closer, I can actually see the line pretty damn well. Yeah, when it's closer, I can basically see the line. This one's also pretty off, actually, by a few millimeters, which may not sound like much, but again, we're trying to aim for quote-unquote perfection, right? So a few millimeters makes a big difference. Now let's see, we'll try having a box like that. So we have to think about how that box, if I wanted to make a diagonal cutout towards it, right, would be something like that. Yeah, something like that. I have the fucking Helldivers theme stuck in my head. Okay. God, I have to sneeze. Bliss! Okay, it's not happening. Oh shit! Oh god! I got baited. I got jebaited by my own fucking nose. And my coffee's done. Sad times are ahead. Or behind. Oh shit, and I spilled the cup. Sad. Now that wow, I called it. I literally called it. I fucking spilled the cup. And about 8 dribbles of coffee. expunged itself onto my thigh. Sad. Sad, very sad. Okay, and then now we need another one. Wait, maybe I can just do... Okay, that's relatively horizontal. There you go, now I can do this. Because otherwise it wasn't going to be even, I don't think. Okay, now we need, let's see, something that's going like this, and then it's coming like that. So where's the middle of that? I have to visualize that, right? So visualizing this is the difficult part. It should be around here. This could be wrong. Something like that. That looks relatively decent in perspective, and now it looks like a spaceship type stuff, right? Which I do like doing. I do like pretending. You know what? No, I'm gonna leave it. After this one, I'm gonna leave it because I think for the next one, I will focus on adding a lot of tiny things to flesh it out. Like to really flesh it out. That'd be pretty cool. Right, we'll work on my linemanship that way as well. Well, I didn't make this even, so we have to account for that as well. So that's good. I make proportion mistakes pretty consistently, right? That's a good sign. Okay, now again, if we have a plane coming in like so, what is the middle point? Somewhere around here, yeah. Then I can just do this then. See, I missed that completely. I didn't even know if I would hit it because I wasn't paying attention. Or I was trying, but I wasn't angling correctly. So yeah, this is completely off. We just gotta draw over that to at least make it not look as bad. Right? But at least we can add little cool angle cutouts like this. And then this one's going, because it is a cutout, I believe. That makes sense. Right. Oh shit! I did it. I did it evenly rather than. That was stupid. That was dumb. Well, I guess it gives an opportunity for me to do this. Yeah, I fucking made it the same. It's not reflected. That was stupid. Okay. There you go. And this one. Yeah, lots of mistakes in this one. Very good, very good. You see how I changed my language to very good? Lots of mistakes and not right. The former understands and accepts. The latter is too busy crying. Is literally too busy making moaning noises, right? Don't be like, what is it? Don't be a Morty moaner. I don't know if this is a Canadian thing. Maybe we have fucking Cineplex ads where they're like, don't be a Tommy Texter. I thought it would be funny. Evidently, it wasn't, and I'm gonna kill myself. But yeah, don't be a Morty moaner, I guess. Cool. Looks like something. Very difficult though. I think I've again gotten slightly better, but there's a lot of things that need work. Right now we're gonna add an ellipse because obviously this was a struggle, so we have to make sure we struggle at least once more. How much time has elapsed? Exactly an hour. Perfect. Would you look at that timing? But let's see, I need to visualize this in my mind before I do it. This is good practice, so I need to make it a specific size. Make it a specific size. Okay, something like that, maybe. And then we can do the same thing here. Again, I have to visualize with minor ghosting here and there. Right, ghosting is still very helpful. Doesn't matter if you're doing it or not. It is very helpful. I would consider this, it is an error, but I would consider the fact that I didn't follow through with the entire line in one fell swoop also to be an error, right? Again, because we're aiming for quote-unquote perfection, right? To do it as perfectly, I guess, yeah. No other way to say it as possible. But, what else can we add to this? We can add maybe a cutout, right around here. So we could do something like right, and then this could be, I guess, something like that. I don't know. That doesn't really make too much sense. But I wanted to do it anyways. Something like that. I don't know. To showcase that it's still going towards that vanishing point. Well, this was very difficult, which is very good. I struggled for sure. I'm going to leave it at that. And then when I come back later today, basically, I will spend the entire hour doing very, very small things. Right? I want to get to work on the more finer lines, right? Drawing a bit smaller, creating obviously maybe, I don't know, like fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 8 to 10 here, 8 to 10 here, like really small things. Maybe that'll add to the effect as well. But this is good. Like I did larger shapes, now I can work on smaller shapes, right? Target both proportions and weaknesses within either or. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you had fun, all that good shit, all that good shit. And yeah, as always, like, subscribe, or fuck off. I don't care which. Actually, wait. At this point, you probably already fucked off. It's the end of the video. But like, subscribe. Fucking like, subscribe, you piece of shit. God damn it. Don't you want to see me become a millionaire? God, fucking gotta retire my family. My dad is very depressed from working, so it makes me sad. But with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money. Thank you.